From the perspective of somebody who really had no idea what the Backrooms was, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It was great. It was suspenseful. There were a few jump scare aspects to it. The jump scare genre is annoying. It can be annoying, but this movie did it well because it also added an eerie effect of where am I? Who or what is out there in the realm of the space that I'm in, and are they out to get me? This movie had a mix of top tier, high quality, beautiful camera angles in both building the environment and also showcasing its creep factor and some of the scary scenes, but it also had a mix of found footage. If you were to briefly look up an idea or like a quick synopsis or anything just regarding what the Backrooms even was or is, you absolutely need the found footage aspect because from what I've seen and what I know, like if you were to ask me, hey John, what's the Backrooms? I have no idea. I've been living under a rock. I would literally just say it's a space, it's a concept based off of a fever dream, a nightmare that we've probably all had where we're in somewhere. It's kind of similar to what we're in now, but it never ends. And everywhere you go, it's slightly different and it doesn't make sense. And then tie that on top of, a first person perspective, like your average horror game, right? Your Outlasts, your Resident Evil Biohazard. That first person effect, it paired so well, especially with the whole found footage part. There were a few parts that were really creepy. Of course, when you have a first person perspective like that, a lot of the times or a good amount of the times of the scare factor is going to be a jump scare, but there were a few parts in this movie that were actually like genuinely creepy. It like kind of gut wrenching, and not to mention the score, the sound effects and the music, just the overall score set the tone so well for this movie. If I'm gonna keep doing movie reviews on this channel, I'm gonna give it like a rating between 0 to 5. That's what I'm gonna put it at. I would honestly give the Backrooms a 4 out of 5. I think the one thing keeping it from a perfect score is just it felt like a lack of script. There wasn't a whole lot to work with. Aside from that, I mean, the main, I guess, monster wasn't as compelling or wasn't as creepy when they finally showed him on the big screen. I've seen videos of the original Backrooms like entity, and yes, it is creepy. It would have been extremely CGI'd if they would have done it, I guess. So I understand the approach they went, and then just the idea of what the Backrooms is explained in the movie. It makes sense as to why it looked like that. But when it came down to the actual, I guess, climax or like big showcase of the monster, they did a good job at it. There's a few things that are very eerie to look at, and it's stuff that I've dreamt about. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have too, whether it was like a sleep paralysis type of dream or just one of those dreams, right, where you're looking at something that you know is a person, but in the dream your mentality and your brain messes with you to where the face looks warped, something doesn't look right. And when you actually gain conscious of it, you get really scared and you're trying to wake up, and then it turns out you're running away from something and you don't know if it's right behind you, if it's 2 doors down, or if nothing's chasing you at all. It's a really 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 amazing concept, and I think they did really well with it. It's more along the lines of like a psychological horror, I would put it at. But yeah, overall the movie was great. The visuals were great. The actors were amazing. I would give it a 4 out of 5. Honestly, 4 out of 5 is my final rating. Would I watch it again? Yes. Have I seen a lot of horror movies recently? No. So this one was a really good one to come back to and kind of refresh the genre. It was a little bit of a new take, even with the whole found footage thing. But I grew up like watching Blair Witch and stuff like that. They managed to keep the found footage aspect of the movie fresh, and it felt a little new. It wasn't too over the top, and there were a few pretty creepy parts in the movie that the found footage just made it that much creepier. Have you seen the Backrooms? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate you guys for sticking around. I'll see you later.